Hey beautiful soul, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. It's the beginning of 2020, the beginning of a new decade. People are super excited. It's a perfect time to set goals, set expectations for the future. But before setting goals, it's always a good idea to reflect on the past year. Think about how much you've grown, the lessons you've learned, and the wonderful things you can be thankful for. So in this video, I'm going to rewind my 2019 and share with you some milestones and highlights of my YouTube channel and my personal life. And since this is the very first rewind video of my YouTube channel, I'm going to rewind the clock a bit further to briefly talk about what happened back in 2018 and what my life was like before that. Growing up, I was always this invisible girl. I lacked self-confidence, I felt insecure, I had no voice, no say in life. And I was raised to believe that if you didn't have good education, a lot of experience, or some sort of impressive family background, then there's no way you could succeed in life. So I struggled through life trying so hard just to keep up and live up to expectations. I also bought into the idea that in order to build a solid foundation, you gotta start from the bottom and climb your way up the corporate ladder. And true success was about having grit, going through the pain and struggle, and grinding was a must. So I worked long hours, did a lot, endured a lot. But I always ended up in these toxic work environments, being underpaid, overworked, and seriously taken for granted. And remember, I had no voice. I didn't even know how to stand up for myself. And in 2018, that way of living really took a toll on my physical and mental well-being. I felt frustrated and depressed all the time. I got sick a lot, like headaches, stomach aches. At one point, I even had to carry my umbrella to work every day and use it as a walking stick. One day after I got off work, I was on the bus home when all of a sudden I lost my eyesight for 30 seconds. It was super scary. And when I went to see the doctor, he said, if you keep on living like this, you're gonna have a stroke very soon. That was the catalyst, the huge wake-up call. I was kind of forced to take a step back and ask myself, Alice, is this how you want to live your life? So I embarked on a journey of self-discovery and personal development. I went to seminars, I read a lot of books, I watched a ton of YouTube videos, and eventually I decided to quit my job. My intention was to find a way out, a better way to live, and I kind of felt like Rapunzel. I felt stagnant and was constantly wondering when will my life begin, just like Rapunzel. And I had the strong desire to grow, to learn new things, find new sources of income, meet new people. I wanted to find an environment that's conducive to my growth. I wanted to surround myself with people that are positive and supportive. You know what they say? Seek and you shall find. I noticed that my lifestyle started to change. I started to exercise, I did yoga, I learned new things like how to do Amazon FBA, how to sell your artwork online, and I also learned valuable new skills like high-ticket clothing. I met amazing mentors and friends that really inspired me and opened my eyes to a new way of living, a whole new world. And in one of the really good programs I went through, they had this humongous Facebook group. It's like this big, amazing online family. Everyone's super positive and supportive. And I felt safe enough to, for the first time in my life, post a Facebook video. I started to express myself more and really connect and interact with people. I made so many new friends. I think I made more friends in 2018 than I did in the previous 10 years or so. Anyways, one thing led to another, and at the end of 2018, I got the opportunity to learn from Bob Proctor and work with one of his top consultants. Bob really inspired me to start this YouTube channel. I've wanted to have my own YouTube channel for like ever. I wanted to have my own YouTube channel back when Michelle Phan was still doing her Sailor Moon makeup tutorials, and By the way, I'm so happy that she's back on YouTube. Alright, on to 2019. At the beginning of 2019, I set a theme for my year. I decided on one word, dare, D-A-R-E, as in dare to dream, dare to take action, dare to take leaps of faith. And it's also the acronym for my statement of life, which is dreams are realities evolved. And then I decided on 4 things in my life I'd like to improve on based off of that theme. So let's go over them one by one, watch some clips, and see how I did. You know what? When I started filming today, I wanted to talk about what I wanted to improve on and then show you some clips. But now I'm thinking, why not do a reaction video? I mean, I've never done one, and it'll be fun. So let's do that. The first thing I wanted to improve on was my level of confidence. I wanted to be comfortable talking in front of the camera. So I am on my computer right now. Let's see, which video should I watch first? Okay, since this is the very first reaction video on my channel, I want to go watch my very first YouTube video. Technically, it's a 2018 video, but it was the very end of 2018, so let's watch that one. This is the one. Hey everyone, my name is Alice. Chillax, chillax. Okay, thanks for watching this video.
I'm from
I wanted
Umbridge.
to start documenting my journey of self-discovery and personal development. Why am I doing this?
Okay, let's fast forward.
If me sharing my experience, my journey can inspire you to take action to pursue your dreams, to believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
To realize
Oh,
that
that's so cute.
you were born with everything you need to succeed. You are beautiful just the way you are.
Just the way you are. That's a good one.
Define your future. It's never too late. And I just wrote my personal statement.
Oh yeah, that was the day.
A couple of minutes ago. It's
dreams are realities evolved.
And
that was the day, and I literally wrote that down a couple minutes before filming. And I remember texting my friend saying, "Oh my gosh, I came up with my personal statement of life." And this is the video where I share what I do in the morning to practice self-love. So let's fast forward to that.
What about me? Jump out of bed. I give myself a huge hug like this, and I really rub it in.
This is what I do
and I say to myself,
every morning.
Good
I
morning,
love
Alice.
you. I give myself a big hug.
And I give myself
and it feels really good.
Kiss.
It feels really good.
At first, it felt kind of awkward, but I was like, I'm in my room. I can do whatever I want.
Whatever I want.
And the more I do this, the more I nice to physically hug yourself and give yourself a pat in the back and say, "You did good, buddy."
You did good, buddy.
And you'll find comfort in hearing your
that's
own voice say, "I love you." I mean, I want to talk about how to
I definitely look more confident in this video. I like the background with 2 cute flounders and some mini Pokemon figures.
That career, that man or woman is the one.
Okay, I'm going to show you about 1 to 2 minutes of each video, so this reaction video doesn't go on and on and on. So let's fast forward a bit.
Don't overthink it, because a
lot of people procrastinate over what to do, what not to do, and end up doing nothing.
I can't decide on that one thing I want to do for the rest of my life. Well,
they put so much pressure on themselves trying to find that one thing.
I want to find my one true love. I want to find
one true love.
Passion in life.
I was so dramatic.
It's almost impossible because human beings, we have multiple
we're multidimensional beings. There's different aspects to our lives.
Life is about the journey and who we become through this journey, not about the destination. Because spirit is always growing and expanding. We can always expand into a better version of it. Thinking is one thing, and taking action is another thing.
gathering knowledge, searching on Google, watching YouTube videos. Those are good, but they can never replace real life experiences. So go out there and live your life. Kylie, I remember this magazine. It was so hard to find.
Surprise! Short hair! And it's super bouncy.
That was the reveal of my new
I feel
hairdo.
like a huge weight
I
has
loved
been
it.
lifted off my shoulders. Literally. Because I told my hairstylist, hey, I don't want some sort of trim. I want short hair.
And
I don't want my hair.
you don't see this in my videos, but in a lot of my previous videos when I was filming, my knees were actually shaking. I was so nervous. And this was when I really started to loosen up, be comfortable in front of the camera, have fun, and enjoy the whole process. And I think it shows.
You don't get what you want. You get what you are. So you gotta change from the inside out.
Okay, let's fast forward a bit because I remember this part. Let me just find it.
I thought of a couple of examples. Number 2, America's Next
Top Model
makeover episode. I don't know if it's every season, but at least all the seasons I watched so far. During the makeover episodes, I love those episodes. During those episodes, there's bound to be 1 or 2 girls who cry over, I don't want to cut my long hair. I'm a girly girl. I don't do short hair. I don't feel pretty anymore. Or I only do commercial.
Girls,
I only do
you are
editorial.
beautiful
Every time I hear
regardless.
like that, I'm like, girl, you're gorgeous.
You're so gorgeous. I can't say anything to your face, because look at your face. You're gorgeous. If you're a fellow Swiftie, high five,
any kind of wacky hairdo, any kind of wacky outfit, I am going to own it because I shine from within.
Yeah, true confidence and beauty always starts from the inside out.
Become that role model to all those girls out there, all those girls watching the show.
The second thing I wanted to do was open up to the world, share my story, and address the issues that I think are important. This is the video where I talk about living up to expectations.
And how that's costing you your life.
Yeah, it literally costs you.
When I was little, I used to feel so guilty for not being able to skip grades because
that is so bizarre now that I think of it.
Most of them, they skip grades.
Why?
And I just felt so not worthy, so not good enough, not smart enough.
I felt so little.
Because the thing with Asian, especially Chinese culture, is everyone acts modest.
On the outside.
They're like, oh, your kid is way better than mine.
Your kids are so smart.
Deep down, they're super competitive.
Parents get so
competitive. They tell their kids, look at other people's kids. Look at, like, A's kid, B's kid. Everyone's, like, having these high standards for kids. And that just added to my insecurity.
Fast forward a bit.
And when the time came for me to pick a major for my university, I decided to go with the expectation.
Yeah, if I could go back in time,
around me, so
I would choose a different major for sure.
Financial law. Now, back then, I was like, okay, this sounds like a very legitimate option. And I kind of brainwashed myself.
Yeah,
okay,
I tried to convince myself that that was my passion.
And Legally Blonde. So there was a phase
I was obsessed with Legally Blonde.
A lot.
My pink days.
But deep down, I always knew that this wasn't my passion. I just ignored it all. Although on the outside, I was the president of my class.
Yeah, I was doing great in terms of my studies.
In my department, and I was getting decent grades, especially in criminal law.
But I wasn't happy.
It was not something I wanted to pursue as a career. I knew it, but I just ignored it. I
did nothing.
Ready to face it because I didn't know how. And I didn't believe in myself enough to challenge my comfort zone. Times I would binge eat a lot of junk food.
Yeah,
Like
that
fried
totally
chicken,
affected
French
my
fries,
diet. I
anything
ate
that
a
was
lot of junk
warm,
food
hot, juicy,
just
because
to ease the
I
pain.
just need to fill that emptiness, that big hole inside of me. But I was never satisfied because comfort food, it can never comfort your soul.
Comfort food
And
can
so there
never
were some
comfort your
other
soul.
times I wouldn't feel like eating things at all, because what's the point? No food can satisfy this emptiness inside. And I've heard people say, you know, sometimes you die at 40 but get buried by 80.
That is so
Your
sad.
soul dies, your passion dies. You just let everything go to autopilot mode and
Just
go
breathing
with the
but
flow
never
and
living.
eventually to dust.
That is not a good strategy.
And that's just really sad. So I wanted to share my story. Well, luckily I was able to find myself again.
Yeah, it took a while, a lot of
And
crying and mental
I
preparation.
mustered up the courage to go up to my parents and say, okay, I want to study something else for my master's degree. I want to study marketing and communication. And
Yeah, I'm
that
glad
started
we had
another
that
story.
conversation.
Maybe
Okay,
I'll
this
share it
is
in a
a
couple of
video
days. So I thought I'd
about
make this
Chinese
video
New
to talk
Year,
about
which
how the
is
Chinese
right
New
around
Year,
the corner.
Spring Festival, the Lunar New Year actually causes a lot of stress and
It
anxiety
does.
for a lot of people. These
Red
little
envelopes.
guys,
Yes.
these are called red envelopes. They're usually in red and sometimes gold. We put cash inside and hand these out to friends and family during the Chinese New Year. And
Fast
you
forward.
probably might have guessed by now that this causes a lot of stress because you'd have to have a big budget set aside for
A lot of
it,
money
especially
in cash.
If you're from a big family, then you'd have to have a pretty impressive budget, right? And in my case,
Fast forward a bit.
so I had to really stretch and squeeze
Yeah.
to make this budget happen. And there were a couple of years I was unemployed during the Chinese New Year, and I still had to maintain that image.
That's the first
save
time I
face,
opened up about this.
act like everything was fine. Like
Yeah, I
had
pretended that I still had a decent job.
Decent salary when I was struggling. I still had to hand out red
And
envelopes,
save face.
even when I was wondering, okay, how am I even gonna pay the bills? The question bombs, the interrogation, especially questions from the older relatives.
And I think
the
it's the same for all major holidays, like Christmas and Christmas gatherings. Relatives all
you get questions
ask, like,
do you have a boyfriend? Oh, you have a boyfriend. When are you getting married? Oh, you're married. When are you gonna have a kid? Oh, you have a kid. When are you planning on having baby number 2?
So many questions.
And if you're a student, they go like, oh, how are you doing at school?
Yeah, and people get super competitive.
What kind of grades are you getting? Or
they ask you questions in the name of love.
Oh, so what do you do? What kind of salary
a lot of
are
people
you
just
earning?
want to compare and compete.
How much have you saved? These kind of questions. These cause a lot of stress. And many people avoid going to family get-togethers just because of that. And regarding the questions of do you have a boyfriend?
Yeah, and some people even, I've heard that some people even rent boyfriends and girlfriends just to avoid the questions of do you have a boyfriend or girlfriend? When are you getting married?
Avoid being annoyed.
Fast forward.
I was one of those people who avoided going to the family get-togethers.
Yeah, it felt like everybody else had a better job, had higher salaries.
Yeah, it happened a couple times. And I made this video because I wanted to tell you, if you're struggling right now, that it's okay not to feel okay. It's okay to reach out for help.
It's okay not to
you're not
feel
alone.
okay. There are up days and there are down
I
days. If
struggled.
you're feeling down right now, just know that your
there.
up
I've been
days
there
are
before.
coming. The third thing I wanted to do was express my fun and creative side. The fantasy, the magic, the Disney. Let's watch my channel intro.
Hey, I'm Alice and welcome to Wonderland. This
Wonderland.
channel is about saying no to negativity and limitation.
No to negativity.
Saying yes to positivity
Yes
and abundance.
to
My
abundance.
statement of life is dreams are realities evolved. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about constantly growing and expanding into the best versions of who we are and who we want to become. On this channel, I will share my journey of self-discovery, personal development, my career, and thoughts on life. So watch out for fun, heartfelt moments, quirky endeavors, a lot of spontaneous singing and dancing, and a sprinkle of magic. Speaking of magic, I have my wand with me.
And I got so many
let's light
DMs
the way
after
to
I
a new
posted this
adventure.
video
If
asking,
you know the spell,
are you a Harry Potter fan? You have a wand? I have more than one
Maxima.
wand.
Does this scenario sound familiar to you? You know exactly what to do, how to do it, but for some bizarre reason, you just don't do it. Why?
Fast forward
I mean,
to the part
you read
I'm
all those
showing
books,
you.
you listened to all those and if you're a visual learner like me, here's another example. Let's watch the clip.
Rexy!
Meet Rexy, the dinosaur who loves to learn. He acquires all the knowledge he can get. So he has a huge head, a huge body, but look at his arms. He never applies, he never works out those muscles. His arms are super short. And when he tries to reach things in the corner,
The inspiration
reach
for
them.
this came
He
from
tries so
a
hard,
scene
he bangs
in
his
Meet the
head,
Robinsons.
but he can never reach that corner.
You want to be like Rexy, acquire a ton of information, a ton of knowledge, have that huge head, huge body, with short hands. Can't reach my goals, can't reach my dreams. All jokes aside, that's what your mind looks like right now. You never built that mental muscle to do things hands-on.
Elephant syndrome, aka the
Baby
elephant
elephant
mentality.
syndrome.
If you've never heard of it, let's go watch the clips. This is
I
how
had
the story
so
begins.
much fun
Elephants
filming
are
this.
beautiful, majestic creatures that have the strength to uproot
Dumbo is
huge
so
trees with their
cute.
trunks. But when an elephant is still a baby, it's still small and weak. And when it is held in captivity, what happens is the elephant trainer ties a rope or a chain around the elephant baby's ankle.
I was very
and
resourceful
secures
when I
it
was
to
looking
a
for
giant
props for this
tree
film.
or pole. At first, the elephant baby wants to roam free, so it pulls and tugs to try to break free. But no matter how hard it pulls and tugs, no matter how many times it tries, it fails every single time. And after a while, it gives up trying. It stops struggling because it believes that it will never be strong enough. It will never have the strength to break free. It is conditioned to believe that it will never break free. The elephant baby grows up into an adult elephant. By this time,
That's
it is strong and
the
powerful
guardian
and can break
of
free
our living room.
if it decides to do so.
The
However,
beautiful,
it is
majestic
still stuck
creature.
in that mental cage. So all the elephant trainer has to do is tie a thin rope around its ankle and secure it to a giant tree or pole. And that elephant won't even try to escape. Deep down inside its heart, it's still that helpless little elephant baby.
Poor baby.
That's what the baby elephant syndrome, the elephant mentality
Okay,
is
let me
about.
fast forward
It's
a bit.
a learned helplessness. It's about how and realize that our differences are
I got that
what
Mickey
make
at
us special.
the Tower of
Never
Terror.
be ashamed of what makes
Look at
you
his face.
unique. In Dumbo's story, At first, he needed that
That's an
magic
earring.
feather to help prove to himself that he could fly. But in
So
reality,
cute.
he had the ability to fly all along. He just needed to have confidence and believe in himself.
Soaring,
Confidence and belief in yourself
flying.
are
There's
mental
not a
muscles
star
you need to
in
train.
heaven that
You can
we
train these
can't
mental
reach.
muscles by practicing the
High School
attitude of
Musical vibes.
gratitude. Every morning, right after you wake up,
Okay,
write down
let's fast
5
forward.
things you're thankful for. Surround yourself with people that support you, people that
Yeah, have a
inspire
strong
you,
support
light your inner
system.
fire, and help
We
you
got
grow.
Chip and
It
Dale
can be friends and
at
family, an
Tokyo Disney
accountability
Sea.
group,
And
or
you
even
can't
a
buy these at
mentor
the
that can
stores, you
guide
have
you,
to
a
win them.
mastermind.
Last but not least, I wanted to step out of my comfort zone to try new things, not just with my YouTube channel, but in other areas of my life as well. For example, I joined a Toastmasters club and I delivered some speeches.
When's the
That was
last
my
time you
first
tried
speech
something new?
there.
And no, by something new, I do not mean try on a new outfit or a new flavor of pizza. No.
Though I
When's
do
the
love
last time
trying out new
you
flavors of pizza.
fantasized about what
Just
you
saying.
really wanted to achieve in life and stepped out of your comfort zone to reach that goal? When? We often hear people say things like, what you want is always going to be outside your comfort zone, or the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek.
Yeah, just like Aladdin
But very few
in the
people
Cave of
really
Wonders.
grasp how important it is to have a dream, know what you want, and the
Fast
consequences
forward.
of staying where you are right now, inside your comfort zone, or stick. I used to be invisible and transparent. They didn't know who I was. Now, because I know who Alice is, I know what Alice wants.
I know what I want.
Alice is here. I have finally arrived. Hi, hi. Let's
I
amp
do
things up.
feel more present these days.
I don't feel the energy.
That was the word of the day, amp.
Woo! So, ask yourself tonight before you go to bed, what do you love to do? If it was impossible to fill, live like it was impossible
I think I was
to fill.
paraphrasing a quote I heard somewhere.
And see how you feel tomorrow morning. For example, something I stepped out of my comfort zone to do is this. I joined this Toastmasters group. I don't know where this journey will lead me, but I can't wait. And life is so much fun.
Yeah, the fun is in figuring out how you're gonna get to your goal.
End this speech with lyrics from one of my favorite songs.
Oh
It's
yeah,
from the
I
movie High
sang
School
at the
Musical.
end.
If you're a fan, high five. So this song is called The Start of Something New. The chorus goes like this. This could be the
Start of something new. It feels so right to be here with you. Oh, now looking in your eyes, I feel in my heart. Start of something new.
Let's start something new.
I love that song. I also traveled a lot in 2019. I think I flew to a different city every other month, which was something I'd never done before. I flew to Toronto, I went to Singapore, I flew back to LA for the first time after so many years. It was so nice. And I went to New York to visit friends. I also flew to Warsaw, Poland, and I just came back from Osaka, Japan. Most of these trips were for live events where I went to learn new things, connect with people, be with my team, and also gain a deeper understanding of myself. And while I was there, I hosted live masterclasses with my team where we shared our experience, what we learned, and personal insights. And we also did live Q&As where we answered people's questions, and the energy was awesome. As for my other trips, they were mainly to be with friends or just be with family. And I had a personal breakthrough while I was in Poland. I was with my family and I finally opened up to my mom and dad. I told them what it's like to work in the personal development industry, what coaching is about, what I'm doing on YouTube, and we also talked about my vision for my life, the things I want to do, and the direction I want to go. In 2019, I experienced a lot of growth, a lot of breakthroughs, and a lot of interesting opportunities opened up to me, which I'm super grateful for. However, there were up days and there were down days. It was towards the end of August, I believe, when I started to feel like something was off, but I couldn't figure out what it was. I mean, I was still learning and growing, and the feedback I got from clients, people watching my videos, people listening to my speeches was positive. But for some reason, I started to resist creating new content. It was so bizarre because I love watching YouTube videos. I love my YouTube channel. I love creating new videos, and I wrote down so many ideas for new projects, and I was super excited about them. But when the time came for me to actually film videos, I felt this growing resistance inside of me. It felt so weird. So I decided to take a step back from social media. You might have noticed that I haven't been posting videos as often or posting on any other social media platform. I took a vacation off of social media to recenter myself, reflect on things, and figure out what was going on. And I'm glad I did that. And a lot of people have been messaging me asking, what's going on? Why aren't you posting new videos? That's what's going on. And now you know. I realized one of the main reasons causing that resistance was I was so immersed and focused on learning and being like these people I looked up to that I started to sound too much like them. Remember at the beginning I mentioned that in the past I used to be this invisible girl and I had no voice? At that point I was like, hey, now I have a voice, but I'm starting to sound like my coaches and mentors and all these influencers in my life. What about Alice? What do I sound like? So I took some time to reconnect with myself, figure out who I am, and what I'm about, so I can come back with refreshed energy and be more present. And when I realized what was going on, I also realized that, hey, I'm not the only one with this issue. See, we've been conditioned to seek outer guidance, to look up to these teachers, coaches, mentors for guidance. And don't get me wrong, having guidance is great. However, we still need to learn how to listen to inner guidance, how to trust our intuition, how to trust ourselves. And that inspired me to start a new business. I co-founded a business and our mission is to reimagine how we play the game of life. Because life can be fun, it can be an adventure. We help people become that hero version of themselves. Essentially, if you want full control over your life, then you gotta get clear on what it is you want in life and learn how to make decisions, how to take action, how to hold yourself accountable and be responsible for the results you get. What we provide is that step-by-step process on how to do that in an environment that's conducive to that kind of growth. We've got a lot of exciting plans for 2020. I'm so looking forward to them. So that was my 2019. If you're still watching, thank you. I appreciate you. Now that we've reflected on 2019, time to dive into 2020 and set new goals. And speaking of goals, last year when I was transitioning from 2018 to 2019, I did a series called 7 Steps on How to Set Goals. I'll put the link down below. Make sure you check that out because next week I'm going to build on top of that and talk about how to set a theme for your year so your goals align with the direction you want to go in life. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below, how was your 2019? What were the most memorable moments? And what kind of videos, what kind of topics do you want to see from me in 2020? I'd love to know. Like always, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.